What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from Anime Uproar, and I am back to discuss the latest crazy chapter of Dragon Ball Super, where we finally get to see what Vegeta's new form is capable of and what it's called. The hype definitely continues, so make sure to stay tuned for this one. If you do enjoy seeing these Dragon Ball Super reviews and want to keep them coming, channel the God of Destruction within and destroy that like button. Hope you enjoyed that pun. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications, or you will miss future Dragon Ball Super and Vegeta updates, and no one wants to miss Vegeta updates. Now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So this chapter is called God of Destruction Power, another hype detail, and I said last chapter that I've never anticipated a Dragon Ball Super chapter quite as much as I did this one, and that is precisely because we left off at Vegeta's own new form. Now we get to see what that form is capable of, and I love it. As mentioned last chapter, Granola is shocked and sweating at the sight of this form, notably not an expression that Goku managed to put on his face. Granola questions Vegeta about his unbounded power and what that even means. Another way of saying this is that Vegeta's limiters are off, and that will help to explain a lot of the actions we'll see in this chapter. Again, I want to reiterate how much I love this form and the aura that accompanies it too. Can't wait to see this animated eventually one day, hopefully. And the form doesn't disappoint. Vegeta rushes in, and before Granola knows it, Vegeta is holding him up by his scarf. It's one of those classic tough guy moments, and what I said last chapter continues to stand. This is Vegeta at his coolest. He tells Granola, the strongest fighter in the world, that he'll take him down a peg since his head has gotten too big. On a side note, that's such an ironic thing for Vegeta of all people to be pointing out, because this dude definitely gets a big head whenever he unlocks a new form, and that's reflected in the Vegeta head dominated panel as well. In an absolutely brutal move, Vegeta headbutts Granola, and as the latter winces and coughs blood in pain, Vegeta is smiling, loving it. He takes Granola and chucks him on the ground. Vegeta's speed is insane right now, and just as Granola jumps up, Vegeta is there waiting for him to smack him right back down. Whatever the end of this chapter is, I love the fact that this chapter is giving Vegeta and his new form a chance to shine. It's never quite that easy, so we can't expect Vegeta to just get a definitive defeat right away, and that's the end of the arc. That wouldn't be that interesting, that wouldn't be that climactic, but we still get to enjoy these moments of Vegeta awesomeness and toughness. It's like after all this time of feeling guilty about his past and trying to atone, he's finally let go of that and embraced pure destruction in this battle at least. We can argue if that's the right move or not, but it definitely makes for a cool Vegeta. We get more panels of Vegeta and his new form being in the clear lead. Granola is getting hit around, and in one instance, as he prepares to fire a shot at Vegeta, Vegeta suddenly appears behind him and knees him in the back. Truly some great action in this chapter. Finally, Granola gets a hit in, and Vegeta didn't even try to avoid it from the looks of it, and that's always a flex when you smile and embrace an enemy's attack. But this arrogance of his may well be Vegeta's downfall again. That being said though, I love seeing Vegeta taking pleasure in being pumped up by the pain. His veins are popping and he's sweating after the attack, but he's smiling and talking about how the hotter his battle soul burns, the stronger he grows. I love it. I know I keep saying this, but I love it. Then he takes Granola's head in his arms, to Granola's shock, and sends him into the remains of the old city Granola treasures so much, so that Granola himself is contributing, albeit indirectly, to the destruction of it, something that must particularly infuriate him. Then Vegeta lands such a satisfying kick, and Granola just shoots through multiple walls and buildings, and the tower even falls over. As Granola notes, in this form, it's like Vegeta's an entirely different person. Granola notes that he's getting stronger by taking damage, and wonders what's a god of destruction. Then we get a bit of Talk No Jutsu, which is completely fine after a bunch of action. Granola questions Vegeta whether it was this god he speaks of who granted Vegeta this power, and Vegeta says no, that power was awakened for the first time in this battle. It's his innate power that comes from within him. This is important for Vegeta because he looks down on shortcuts, like Granola's wish, so he makes it clear, yeah, Beerus helped train him, but Vegeta earned this form that came from within himself. We get a pretty funny moment where an irritated Granola asks if he drew out this strength of Vegeta's, and Vegeta not only says yes, but even says he's grateful. Vegeta has proven to be so good at pushing Granola's buttons, it's hilarious, and now he's saying that rather than defeating him and getting revenge for his people, Granola's just made his enemies stronger. Hilarious. Granola explodes in anger and launches an attack at Vegeta, saying it's impossible that Vegeta is stronger than him, and instead of dodging, Vegeta again takes it head on to Granola's surprise. Vegeta truly seems seems unstoppable as he laughs it off and says nothing revs him up more. But again, he seems to be too trusting of his ability to take on more and more damage, and Granola takes advantage of this with free shots and keeps firing attacks at Vegeta. Vegeta finally jumps out of the smoke and is about to land another attack at Granola, and the terrified Cerealian uses a new technique for him, I believe, and raises an energy shield around himself to protect himself. Vegeta's got him on the defensive, and I cannot stress how much better he's done than Goku in pushing Granola. Goku was defeated twice without getting close to pushing Granola this far, so to people who dismissed Vegeta's new power as being weaker than Goku's current MUI, I can't see that being the case. Obviously, they both have much more room to grow. This is Dragon Ball after all, and that's part of the series, but the fact remains that God of Destruction Vegeta did much better than MUI Goku, and just cause Ultra Instinct is an angel technique and Vegeta's is a God of Destruction technique, it doesn't mean Vegeta can't surpass Goku and vice versa. Obviously, Vegeta won't always be in the lead or even tied, but switching back and forth a bit is all I ask for. But that aside, we return to the fight where Granola is wondering why Vegeta doesn't dodge like Goku, whose power avoids danger. And Vegeta's response is classic Vegeta. He mentions Goku's Ultra Instinct and says not to compare Goku's pathetic technique to his own. So clearly Vegeta is putting himself above Goku, albeit he is a very biased warrior who wants to see himself on top, but it's still noteworthy since Vegeta has had moments when he acknowledged Goku surpassed him in the past. Then we get a very important panel. Vegeta says Kakarot's body may have a mind of its own, but I'm ego. In fact, go ahead and call this Ultra Ego. So Ultra Ego Vegeta, instead of pursuing Goku's path, doubled down on what some might have considered his weakness and attained this new power, which at the very least rivals Goku's Ultra Instinct. And I really like that. I like the fact that the manga shows that there is more than one way to become the strongest. They both work hard, but they don't have to work hard in the exact same way. This reminds me a bit of Majin Vegeta, but the big distinction is that this power was within Vegeta, as he says, it's not borrowed, which makes it even cooler. As Vegeta rushes into the shield again, Granola looks very panicked, and we get probably my favorite panel where Vegeta's power manages to break through the shield, and we get a close-up of him kicking Granola in the face. It is an absolutely priceless panel. Granola keeps being upset. He clearly appears to be on the losing side, and he's angry about it, saying there's no way he'll lose to some third-rate Saiyan who's not even Frieza. It's funny how he has no idea that in all likelihood, unless Frieza achieved something crazy off screen, Vegeta is now much stronger than Frieza. And although there are moments where Vegeta seems like he loses it in this fight, he also has moments in this form like this one where he's able to communicate rationally. He says that he has no idea what Granola heard, but Planet Vegeta was wiped out by Frieza, the same guy he thinks Vegeta is serving. He drops the crazy line that shows how much they have in common, where he says the Saiyan tribe is yet another push to the brink of extinction by Frieza. Then Oatmeal chimes in. Oatmeal feels like Granola's Disney cricket of conscience, as he tells him this contradicts what he's been told. Granola doesn't want to let go of his revenge, which is pretty much his reason for being at this point, and keeps fighting. And I mean, he's so invested after sacrificing most of his life to get his power. He obviously doesn't like accepting the fact that he made such a big sacrifice for possibly nothing. Granola punches Vegeta in the head, and Vegeta takes it, again to Granola's surprise. One thing we can say about this chapter is that Granola was surprised by Vegeta more times than I care to count, which is a testament to Vegeta's awesomeness and power. Vegeta, with the fist still on his face, says that Granola can believe what he wants, but he's telling the truth, and he says don't think for a second that he wants Granola's pity. So even though they were through a similar experience, it's interesting how Vegeta handles it and looks at it compared to Granola. He's moved beyond it, you could say, while Granola is still stuck in the past. We see another unique move with Granola when he uses his scarf to wrap around a tower instead of blasting off like Team Rocket. This lets him land nicely on the building. Oatmeal keeps reasoning with Granola by saying the Saiyans were victims as well, and these Saiyans weren't aware or part of the attack on his people. Granola's finally had enough and drops Oatmeal, choosing to fight without the support since he is the strongest. Again, it's hard to sympathize with a character this bent on revenge, especially when the targets of revenge are not even the individuals who did him wrong. That's what's missing from this revenge story compared to something like the Count of Monte Cristo, where the protagonist has all the reasons in the world to hate the individuals he's planning his revenge on. By the way, if you haven't read it, I definitely recommend it, and there's even an anime. But back to Granola and his blind revenge. There's an interesting twist here where Vegeta again mentions Granola's lack of experience, and this fight has definitely seemed to emphasize Vegeta getting stronger and stronger so far, but as Granola points out, he in fact was not the only one getting stronger. Granola was getting experience through this battle as well, and says that he's growing stronger the more he fights too. I really like this detail because it shows that this new Vegeta could have probably beat Granola at Granola's full power when he was fighting Goku, for example, but Granola has gotten stronger since then too. This time Granola sends a tower at Vegeta, and Vegeta brings up how Granola is so willing to destroy his own city now. But yeah, Granola has lost it and is sending building debris at Vegeta. Vegeta's god destruction power seems to be too much for him to overcome so far though. Side note, we get a scene where Oatmeal is just picked up by a self-driving ship, UFO style. Oatmeal is definitely an interesting detail that's been focused on throughout this arc. I look forward to seeing how that pans out. We get to the point where Vegeta and Granola are exchanging blows until finally, although Vegeta gets the last hit, he's bleeding big time and in a lot of pain. He still takes comfort in it though, thinking it'll just make him stronger, which seems kind of crazy at this point, but to his credit though, he finally starts dodging some shots. In the meantime, Goku notices that Granola's moves are in fact sharper than ever and that he is getting the hang of fighting, confirming that he is stronger, aka a better fighter, than he was when he confronted Goku earlier. Goku is just focusing on healing now, and in theory, he should get a power boost too after taking so much damage from Granola. Vegeta though looks like he's doing well at moments, landing attacks on Granola, but he's not holding up well at all. His vision is blurring and he admits that he's taken far too much damage. It's a catch-22 in a sense because he seemingly needs to take more damage to get stronger faster, but the damage is also taking him out of the fight faster. Granola though seems to be in contrast in pretty alright shape. Then we get a highlight of this chapter. Vegeta launches a massive spirit bomb of destruction. Obviously it's not technically a spirit bomb, but you know what I mean, it looks like it. That will destroy anything it touches, even the planet. So Granola has to stop it as Vegeta tells him to do. Now arguably Vegeta lost it here and went too far with his battle craziness and is putting Goku and everyone on the planet at risk. Very uncharacteristic of the Vegeta who wanted to atone for what he did to the Namekians. He even tells Granola that this will be Granola's doom. Let me know your thoughts on this. Is there an excuse for Vegeta launching this destructive move? Did he think Granola would stop it? Or has this form really led him astray from his recent principles? Luckily for Granola and Goku and even Vegeta, who can't breathe in space, Granola awakens his second Sharingan, aka his second eye becomes red too, a clear physical sign that he's grown stronger during this battle. He launches an energy beam that does in fact destroy Vegeta's attack, causing a massive explosion, but not big enough to actually destroy the planet or kill anybody. Now Vegeta's on the ground and Granola thanks him, since Vegeta is responsible for drawing out this power. Importantly, Vegeta is still in his new form, so we shouldn't count him out yet, but I also have to say, who cares if Vegeta doesn't get a clear W here? Neither did Goku, and Vegeta did great, forcing Granola to reach new levels of power that Goku couldn't bring out of him with his multiple tries so far, and he's still not down for the count. I feel like Vegeta fans, me included, have plenty to appreciate about this chapter, and not getting a clear W right off the bat should not sour anyone's mood. Vegeta did great power-wise. I just look forward to learning more about why he launched that attack to destroy the planet, because we have seen moments of rationality in this form as well. It's not like he's always losing it. Time will make this clearer for sure. Now we just need Ultra Instant God of Destruction Gogeta and we're good to go. Lastly, we meet up with the Heaters, who are glad to see the strong fighters taking each other out and move towards the first location of the Dragon Balls. This tells me that we might get a good deal of fighting left before the Heaters really come into play, since they're only heading for the first location now. All in all, a solid chapter, and I found plenty to like in it. I got what I wanted in terms of Vegeta's impressive power upgrade. He definitely surpassed Goku so far by pushing Granola to awaken his second Sharingan, and I respect that. I don't need him to crush the strongest fighter in the world easily after getting a new form. Even if Vegeta isn't the one to defeat Granola, I am totally satisfied with what we saw from him in the last two chapters. Totally epic, with an asterisk there for trying to destroy the planet. As always, let me know what you thought of this chapter. Did you enjoy it as much as I did, or are you dissatisfied with Vegeta's performance? I'd love to hear what you think below. If you do enjoy seeing these Dragon Ball Super reviews and want to keep them coming, channel the God of Destruction Within and destroy that like button. That pun alone deserves a like. If you haven't, make this the video you subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future Dragon Ball Super and Vegeta updates. And as I said, no one wants to miss Vegeta updates. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.